Hey YouTube, just getting started on the remote start kit for the Predator 3500. Watched a couple other videos and got a few ideas. It's all kind of straightforward, except for, I guess, the linkage for the actuator for the choke. No one really shows how that works. I think I maybe found how I'm going to do it. We'll see how it works. But so far, I've got the actuator and I've made a bracket for it, and I flipped it compared to the other ones that I've seen. So it's gonna sit in here pretty nice, just like that. I'm gonna cut this bracket down a little bit more so it's not so big, but it just kind of, there's a spot in there where it just kind of wants to lay, and it looks like it'll have a pretty good angle down there to the choke. So we'll get this mounted up. It'll have to come off whenever you change the plug, but it's just a couple screws, so that's not a big deal. So we'll get this mounted. Then we'll figure out what we're going to do for a choke linkage. And then we'll get to work on the relay side. Alright, I don't know how everybody else did this, because nobody shows it. But hooking the actuator, and I mounted mine upside down from other people. It fits in there a lot nicer. I just made a little aluminum bracket for it to fit in there. But they don't show you the linkage that you have to come up with to hook the choke up to the solenoid. I ended up using a piece of TIG rod and trial and error, a bunch of different bends, so it will clear the original hole for the other choke that still has to go back in there in order for the choke to work right, the hand choke. So that's why I had to do that little circle around there. I ended up drilling another little hole next to that one for the rod to go into, and then some bending to get it all to work. So here it is, working and clearing the linkage, or clearing the motor for the carb. So you got to make sure, it's taken me a couple hours to get to this point, but so we're gonna put it back together and see if it does what it's supposed to do. So yeah, set up and it works. Just getting done finishing up doing the testing on it. Couldn't really find a real descriptive video on this online, so I thought I'd make one to show you how all the wiring goes, because I made a few mistakes that weren't really pointed out. So we've got the choke solenoid in there, which is just the door lock actuator. I flipped it compared to how other people have it, and I did another video on my setup for the choke arm. But as far as the wiring on the solenoid goes, you have to, as far as the start goes, you want to go to the black and white wire on the start switch, not the white one. So when you're coming in here, you've got the start switch that I've got on that second relay, or sorry, the first one. One thing to note, when you're wiring up the kill switch, you need to take both wires off the kill switch to a non-powered solenoid. I kept trying, I don't know what I was thinking, but I kept trying to run it off of a powered one. You're trying to close the switch completely, not power it. So with the start and the choke, you're powering it, and with the shutdown, you're closing it. So you can see on that, with the two black wires there on that one, sorry, it might be a little bit too much light. Yeah, you're shutting that one. So I've got those two wired into the kill switch, going to that third one from the left, and then the one wire coming in from the hot wire from the solenoid coming into the powered one there, and then I just grounded it to the frame up there, and then the start switch coming in to that first one. Everything works like it should. Start, stop, choke. I need to mount, still need to mount the relay switch, or the relay box, and it looks like there's a pretty good spot right in the back for it. Let's get some double-sided tape and stick it back there, clean up all the wiring, and I still need to wire in a switch. I just have this hooked up to a battery to run the power for the relay. So I'll put a switch in and run those to the battery. And hopefully by tomorrow I'll get this thing all buttoned back up and off and running. Yeah, so I'll do a little run update once it's all back together. Thanks for watching.